Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. The Only Tarot Book You'll Ever Need by Skye Alexander is a modern, reader-friendly guide designed to help newcomers and returning practitioners build confidence with tarot. Rather than treating tarot as mysterious or inaccessible, the book frames it as a practical system of symbols that can support reflection, decision-making, and personal growth. Alexander introduces the structure of a standard tarot deck, explains how to approach readings with intention, and shows how spreads can be adapted to real-life questions about relationships, work, creativity, and well-being. The emphasis is on learning the language of the cards while also developing an ethical, grounded reading style. Readers can expect an overview of the Major and Minor Arcana, guidance on preparing for a reading, and strategies for interpreting cards in context instead of memorizing keywords. With a contemporary tone, the book aims to make tarot usable as a regular tool, whether for journaling, self-inquiry, or reading for others. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, understanding the tarot deck as a symbolic system. A central focus of the book is helping readers understand what a tarot deck is and how its parts fit together. It breaks the deck into Major Arcana and Minor Arcana and shows why that structure matters for interpretation. The Major Arcana can be approached as big themes and turning points, while the Minor Arcana often maps to day-to-day experiences, emotions, conflicts, and choices. The book also clarifies the role of suits and court cards, which many beginners find confusing. Instead of treating each card as a fixed definition, the guidance encourages seeing tarot as a symbolic language that changes meaning depending on the question, the surrounding cards, and the reader's intent. This approach supports deeper readings because it teaches you to connect imagery, pattern, and narrative. By learning how the deck is organized, you can make more sense of combinations and recognize recurring themes across readings. For practical learners, this structure reduces overwhelm and helps you build a mental framework so new cards slot into place logically rather than feeling like 78 isolated flashcards. Secondly, building a personal reading practice and ritual, the book emphasizes that consistency matters more than mystique when you are learning tarot. It presents a straightforward way to start a practice that fits your lifestyle, including how to choose a deck, how to handle and store cards, and how to create a calm space for readings. It also covers setting intentions, centering yourself, and approaching a reading with a clear question. These steps are framed as tools for focus and clarity rather than mandatory occult rules, which can help readers avoid feeling intimidated. A modern tarot routine can include journaling, tracking draws over time, and reviewing outcomes to strengthen intuition and accuracy. The book also points to the value of boundaries when reading for others, including how to avoid overdependency and how to keep the reading empowering. By treating tarot as a skill you develop through repetition, you can move from guessing to interpreting with confidence. The result is a practice that feels personal and sustainable, whether you read daily, weekly, or only when facing a decision. Thirdly, interpreting cards with context, not memorization. A key teaching is that tarot interpretation works best when you combine foundational meanings with context. The book supports learning traditional associations while also encouraging readers to notice visual cues, emotional reactions, and story flow across a spread. This method helps beginners who fear forgetting meanings because it shows how to reason through a card by asking what its imagery suggests, what role it plays in the position of the spread, and how it interacts with neighboring cards. The guidance also highlights common interpretive factors, such as upright versus reversed orientations, elemental or suit dynamics, and the difference between advice, warning, and outcome cards. Importantly, it steers readers toward clarity and responsibility, discouraging fatalistic claims and promoting readings that focus on choices and next steps. Interpreting in context also makes tarot more relevant to modern questions, where people often seek insight into patterns, motivations, and opportunities rather than fixed predictions. Over time, this approach develops both intuition and critical thinking, which makes readings more nuanced and less reliant on rote keywords. Fourthly, using spreads to answer real questions, spreads are presented as practical frameworks that shape how information is gathered and understood. The book introduces commonly used layouts and explains what each position is meant to reveal, such as influences, obstacles, advice, and potential outcomes. It also encourages adapting spreads to match the question, which is crucial because the same layout can feel different when used for career planning versus relationship dynamics. By treating spreads as flexible tools, readers learn how to avoid vague readings and instead produce structured insights that lead to action. The book supports asking better questions, moving from yes or no demands to exploratory prompts that uncover options and consequences. It also reinforces that a spread works best when the reader stays consistent with position meanings, so interpretations do not drift into whichever card meaning feels convenient. For many learners, spreads provide a bridge between learning single card meanings and delivering cohesive readings. They also help you compare repeated themes across positions, making it easier to identify what is central, what is secondary, and what can be influenced through conscious choices. Lastly, ethics, empowerment, and the modern role of tarot. The book treats tarot as a tool that should support empowerment and emotional well-being. It addresses the importance of ethics, including respecting privacy, avoiding fear-based interpretations, and recognizing when a question is better served by professional support outside tarot. This modern framing helps readers avoid common pitfalls like using tarot to control others, make invasive inquiries, or replace medical, legal, or financial expertise. The guidance also focuses on how tarot can strengthen self-awareness by revealing patterns in thinking and behavior. By approaching readings as conversations with your own intuition, you can use the cards to clarify priorities, test assumptions, and explore the likely impact of choices. The book positions tarot as compatible with different belief systems, whether you view it spiritually, psychologically, or as a reflective practice. That inclusivity can help readers feel welcome and reduces gatekeeping. Ultimately, the modern role of tarot in this approach is not to predict a fixed fate, but to provide meaningful prompts that encourage agency, compassion, and better decision-making. In conclusion, this book is best suited for beginners who want a friendly, structured path into tarot, as well as intermediate readers who feel stuck memorizing meanings without forming coherent readings. If you like practical guidance, clear organization, and a modern tone that avoids unnecessary jargon, it can serve as a dependable reference and a workbook for building skill. The benefit to a reader's life comes from learning how to use tarot as a reflective tool, clarifying what you want, identifying what influences you, noticing repeating patterns, and choosing next steps with more intention. A consistent tarot practice can also support journaling, emotional processing, and creative problem-solving, especially when you use spreads to explore options rather than search for absolute certainty. Compared to many tarot books that either lean heavily into esoteric history or provide only brief card keywords, this guide aims to connect fundamentals, spreads, and ethical reading habits into one coherent system. That all-in-one approach makes it worth buying for readers who want a single modern manual they can return to repeatedly as their confidence grows and their questions become more nuanced. If you would like to support Skye Alexander, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.